Hello students, Sacred Heart High School welcomes you. Today we will study our skeletal system and skin part 2. In the first part of this chapter, we studied about the different types of bones, fracture. We also studied about axial skeleton, appendicular skeleton. In this part, let us study about joints, skin, function and structure of skin. Joints. Joints are the places where two or more than two bones are connected or attached to each other. Joints are of two types, movable joint and immovable joint. Movable joint. In movable joint, the bones which are attached to such a joint can move. Example, bones of arms and legs. Immovable joint. In this joint, the bones which are attached to the movable joints cannot move. Example, bones of the skull except the lower jaw. Types of joints. Hinge joints. Hinge joints are a type of joint that function much like the hinge on a door, allowing bones to move in one direction back and forth. This type of joint allows the movements of bones only in one direction. It moves in a 180-degree angle. Example, the elbow and knee joints. Ball and socket joint. It is a joint in which the rounded end of one bone fits into a cup-like end of the other bone, allowing for free rotatory motion. In this type of joint, the bones can move in two or more directions in a 360-degree angle. Examples, shoulder and hip joints. Gliding joint. In this type of joint, the bones can only slide over each other. Example, wrist and ankle joints. It allows the bones to glide past one another in any direction along the plane of the joint. Skin. The skin is an important and large organ of all living organisms. The skin has hair and nails on it. The skin gives us the sense of touch. The skin is an important sensory organ of the body. The outermost covering of the body is called as skin. Functions of the skin. Skin protects the internal parts of the body like muscles, bones, organs, etc. It helps to preserve the moisture, that is, the water content in the body. It helps in synthesizing or producing vitamin D. It releases sweat to regulate body temperature. It gives protection from heat and cold, and it also functions as the sensory organ of touch. Structure of the skin. Human skin is made up of two layers. The first and the outermost layer is called as epidermis, while the layer below it or the second layer is called as dermis. Below the dermis, there is a network of blood vessels and nerve fibers. The subcutaneous layer is present under this network. Subcutaneous layer is also called as hypodermis. It is the innermost layer of the skin. It has larger blood vessels and nerves. Subcutaneous layer maintains normal body temperature. The epidermis has various layers. What happens when we walk or play in the hot sun? When we walk or play in the sun, we get tired, but at the same time our skin becomes wet. This is because of sweat. In the skin, there are glands which secrete or produce sweat. They are called as sweat glands. A gland is an organ which produces and releases substances that perform a specific functions in the body. After playing in the hot sun or after hard physical labor, the temperature of the skin rises. Then sweat is released. Sweat helps to reduce the temperature of the body. Our body temperature usually remains constant at approximately 37 degrees Celsius. Melanin. Melanin is a natural skin pigment. A pigment is a colored material that is completely or nearly insoluble in water. Hair, skin, and eye color in people and animals mostly depends on the type and amount of melanin they have. The percentage of melanin decides the fairness or darkness of the skin. The color of the skin also depends on the climate. Melanin protects our skin and the inner parts from ultraviolet rays. Fat is present under the skin. This fat helps to insulate the body from cold, cushions deep tissues from blunt trauma, and serves as a reserve source of energy for the body. It also keeps our skin tight. But as we grow older, the proportion of fat beneath the skin reduces. However, our previously tight skin does not shrink along with the fat, and hence it wrinkles. Therefore, this causes wrinkles on the skin of older people. I hope you have understood this lesson. Thank you.